tragedy, damn. Hey survivors, it's your girl Ruriko here, and today I am back with another video. Oh my god, where have I been? Oh my god, it feels so good to be back. It's like I never left. Lies. Wow, I don't even know what to say. I know that's not my normal intro, but I just want to get into this video because I'm just like so excited to just come and just get this video out of the way. Like, it's not like it's boring or anything, but I just want to get this one out of the way so I can just start doing what I love, and that is makeup, play with makeup, review makeup, and all the good things I used to do. And just, you know, tell you guys where I've actually been, what's been happening to me, because I generally have been away for over a month. That was not my intentions whatsoever. Like, literally 2 weeks. 2 weeks tops, max, was the length that I was going to be away from YouTube. I kept up with Instagram for a while. I did keep up for a good, like, I think throughout my whole move, I was able to upload every single day. And then something happened, and I just wanted to do a get ready with me video. I contemplated doing all sorts of videos. How would I do it? But there's so much stuff that's happened and so much that's gone on that I just thought, let me play with makeup again and let me talk to you guys and be real and be honest and just tell you everything that's actually happened. Now, two things. I haven't played with makeup from the day I said I am moving, because what happened is I moved, I was moving, in the midst of moving, and I haven't actually dipped into makeup. I haven't played with makeup. As you can see, my eyebrows are so grown out. I never actually thought they'll actually grow this bushy because I was plucking and waxing and doing all these things. I thought, oh my god, maybe I've damaged my hair follicles, but no honey, as you can see, their hair with a vengeance. So I don't know how it's gonna look with me doing my eyebrows because there is some fray bits over here. This will be like my introduction back into makeup, I guess, and my introduction back to YouTube and my introduction back to Instagram and everything else that I'm going to do from this day forward whenever you get to see this video. I'm hoping tomorrow. I have literally missed you guys so much. It hasn't been good. It really hasn't been good. So I'm just gonna get on with the video. I'm gonna put on my trusted makeup bonnet and take this one off because I'll be putting this back on when the look is done. So let me just do that. So first things first, my lips feel so busted because I just haven't had time to look after myself. I ain't even done no like skin treatments, no nothing. I think I put on a mask for the first time in forever yesterday, and it was drawing out some terrible things out my face. I was like, oh my god. That just made me realize that, you know what, even though life is getting on, I still need to really start looking after myself a lot better. So this is the first time I'm opening this. This is the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Velour Lip Scrub. This is lemon ice box cookies, and it looks like this, my lovelies. I haven't used this one before. I've used the new one that came out with the Thirsty palette, so I've used that one before off camera. I'm using this one's so beautiful. Look at the packaging. Jeffree Star really knows how to wow an audience, doesn't he? Just beautiful. So I'm going to open this. Oh my god, and it's edible, guys, so you know, midnight snacks and that. But this really does smell like lemon icebox cookies. Oh, wow, look at that. Yes please. But yes Jeffree, yes. So I'm gonna put a little bit that on my nail there, and I'm just gonna scrub. What do you guys do when this is like sugar based? Are you an eater? Because I know that's all dropping all over the place, but don't worry about that, I'll hoover it out later. I really like rub it against my lips, and then I just lick that off. There was nothing sexy about it, honestly. Tastes delicious though, oh my god. And you only use a little, but on the reels, my lips feel flipping smooth, like yes Jeffree, you got me covered with that. I like that. I got a little bit of sugar here, but I ain't gonna make that go to waste. The packaging is absolutely lovely. Everything about it is just beautiful. Like seriously, all that shimmer. Yes, I am feeling that. So I've started with that. I'm gonna fast forward a whole load of that because that was just very unnecessary. Big people problems, honey. We can't even, you know, scrub our lips a little bit if I get a little bit, you know, hungry and that. So We finally got our house, honey. I'm gonna try and get all the combinations together because we are still unpacking. Everything that could go wrong has gone wrong, honey. It's like no joke. You know when some people are sitting there exaggerating and when they explain it to you and you're just like, oh my god, no, really? Like seriously, honestly and truly, everything that could go wrong has absolutely gone wrong. Things that you just wouldn't even foresee has gone wrong. For my primer, I'm going to be using the Revolution Pro Prime and Hydrate. I'm just going to pump some out, honey bunnies, and put this on. I feel like a noob, like I feel like a proper noob at this time. It's crazy how you can come out with something for a short space of time, because a month ain't that long. Like I think I've been out of it for like 6 weeks, maybe 5 to 6 weeks. So we finally got our house. Finally, you know, I did a video like nearly over a year ago about how much we want to move. You know, we're going through Locator and it's explaining a little bit about what Locator is and what it does and etc, etc. You know, bidding every week since that video. So a whole year we've been bidding. We have had some serious ups and downs. Ooh, some serious ups and downs with the whole process really of bidding. Just the whole process really. I wouldn't say ridiculous. It's very easy, very straightforward. You have your sign-in information, you sign in with that. Whatever's there is what you can bid on, is basically what I'm saying. So when you go in there, you're not going to see something that you can't bid on unless it's out of borough, because out of borough don't really see the criteria that you're in. That's the only way it gets kind of confusing, i.e. your housing association or your housing council might turn around and say, okay, you're only allowed a 3-bedroom house, you know, you might have some mobility issues, so you might need this or that adaptation or blah blah blah. Whereas the people outside of that, i.e. a different council, a different area, won't know that. So you might go in there and think, oh my god, look at that 4-bedroom house, da, 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 da. But then when you read more into it, you kind of gather that, you know, it's not for you. So apart from that, if it's in your borough, you won't ever see anything that's not in your criteria. But it's very cutthroat. There's so many people coming into London, or there's so many people that are already in London in dire straits, and it is literally flooded. I think I found a place very, very quickly, considering how long I've seen other people. Like there was people popping up that's been on Locator since 2007 and only just getting their properties, only just getting their houses. You know, it all depends on what band you're in, what you need, what kind of position you're currently in. You know, are you in dire straits? Are you losing your home? Are you homeless? Them things there. You know, there's so many things to consider when you're using a platform like Locator. And for us, it was simple. I'm not gonna sit here and kind of slate it. It was a simple process, considering there's other people out there that have it harder. So I'm not gonna come here and be like, oh my god, we had the worst experience. We really didn't. It could have been worse, and I'm grateful that it wasn't. You know, there's certain things that every company can touch up on or do better on, and I feel like Locator is lacking in so many things. Like for instance, I believe if you are dealing with vulnerable people, which 99.9% of the time you are when it comes down to the housing situation, they should never walk into a home that just looks decrepit, broken down, that is a hazard for them, that makes them feel like, oh my god, or how am I going to fix it? Even though you guys are there to fix certain things, but you're not there to fix everything. I've gone into houses where I've stepped on nails and it's gone right through my trainer, things like that. It just makes you disheartened. Don't get me wrong, you're on this scheme because you're desperate, but I don't know how to explain it to you. Yes, we're desperate for housing, but don't take the mick. Do you know what I'm saying? We're not going to be that desperate that we're gonna, like, there's one place that I saw that was not suitable for anybody, literally like a match, start again, and yet they're saying, well, we think that it's suitable for you and your family. And I said, did you go and see it? And the lady's like, well, no, we saw it through pictures. Pictures don't really explain the situation that you put me in. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't just that it was decrepit and things were falling on and there was no kitchen counters or kitchen cabinets and doors were kicked in and there was knife marks on the walls, all this stuff. I saw past that because I thought to myself, I have vision. If you're in dire need, you need to have vision, you know. But it was the other things that I couldn't see past. Like, it wasn't even big enough for my family of 6. You know, we're normally a family of 7, but as you guys know, my eldest child is in care, so we're now a family of 6, and it wasn't even suitable. But then you have somebody on the other line who hasn't even walked into the property that can tell you that it is. And it's like, what's the whole point of ringing us and saying to us that we can come and view a property to see if it's suitable, and then when we say it's not suitable, get penalized? I got penalized for that. I got points against me and everything. They said, oh, the next one that we feel that is suitable for you, if you don't take it, we're gonna knock you down a banding. You know, there's so much threats and all this stuff, and I thought to myself, you don't really need to go down that road, but they did. For my foundation, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal True Match Super Burnable Foundation. Sorry, I'm getting all into the conversation. I'm not even paying attention to what I'm doing. Oh my god, I forgot how watery this foundation is. It is so droopy. That's neither here or there now, because we finally got our place, and I will be bringing you guys a video on just the whole experience. I will show you the places that I'm talking about, you know, the places that I mentioned where it just wasn't suitable for me or my family. Oh, I recorded everything. You know, you're allowed to a certain extent of what you can and can't record. I recorded some footage for you guys, so that will be coming, so you guys can make up your own mind. If I was being, you know, over dramatic or whatever, you guys can make up your own mind on that. But we finally got our house that I said yes to, and then that's when everything started going a little bit cray cray. Now for me, you know, I'm spiritual to a certain extent, you know what I mean? I believe in God, I believe in demons, heaven, hell, blah blah blah. I believe in those type of things. But you know, when people say demons, they think, oh my god, like actual creatures. No, I mean like someone could just have a demonic soul, like, do you know what I mean? That's pure evil, no good intentions whatsoever for you. I call people like that where you can't explain or express where they're coming from. They're just demonic, they're just demons. And I truly believe when you start bringing your life into a very positive light, negative stuff just start popping off like straight away. Like, you know, either people are just talking negatively about the situation, have you just thinking what is really going on, or you know, just negative stuff start happening. I believe that when you're really doing good in life and you're trying to like succeed, be good with yourself and be more disciplined, just live your good life, people come for you. Life comes for you sometimes, you know, they test you. And I think that's exactly what happened to me and my family. We got the move, and then they tried to come and tell us, you know, we want you to move in 2 days. Now let me tell you something. In 2 days, I've been living in my property for 13 years. I got 13 years full of stuff. You can't come and tell me I need to move my 13 years full of stuff in 2 days. I was like, I was like, okay, hell no. There's this thing called dual rent where they will contemplate helping you pay rent on both properties while you're going through this transition. So with the dual rent process, I had to fill out a form. I did all of that. If you guys are new to my channel and you haven't been following me for a very long, particularly long time, you might not know that my eldest child is in care, and so much negative stuff happened around that situation. Clearly it's a negative situation anyway, but so many things happen in that time. It's so funny how you go through something and you're trying your hardest to, you know, cope with it every single day, and a little thing like filling out a form to ask for dual rent brings you right back into that dark, deep, soul crushing place. Because I filled out this form and I sent it off just normal. I was told to do it, so I did it. I sent it off, no biggie, right? No biggie. So I get a letter back, quite rude if I like might add, that my children don't live with me. Dante and Ruriko is my children. Dante and Ruriko don't live with you. What are you talking about? Because when I filled out the form, I filled it on the remit of I can't force my son who has autism and he has ADHD to move in that short space of time. Not only that, the house also needed to be carpeted, and it also, the floor needed to be fixed a little bit. There was painting that needed to be done, plus the massive move that I had to do because all my children have all their stuff and all that type of things. You know, when I asked for everything. I wasn't lying. I think that it was way too much stuff to move in 2 days. My actual landlord, the one that I was renting to, they had no problems with me staying a month or 2 months or 3 months or however long I needed to move. They were cool with that. They had no issues with that whatsoever. The problem is this property that I moved into. That was the main issue, because they didn't want me to sign the lease and then have it vacant. So it was all that type of stuff. I made it very clear, you know, there was so many lists, you know, my son, my daughter, they both have behavioral issues. Moving them or forcing them, it will have a negative impact on them and my family. So I said that. I said what needed to be done in the house. I also explained how much stuff we had to move, and we weren't getting help from family, because I'm not sure if you guys know or not, but I do not talk to my family anymore from the incident of my video, which I'll put here. Because of that, I basically had no help from my side, so I was really relying on his side of the family that work all of the time. So helping us in 2 days was just going to be a no-no. So I went in to do this form. As I said, I'm going to be using the revolution, conceal and define. They wrote back to me, oh, your children don't live with you, what are you talking about? Practically is basically what they're saying. We need proof. And I'm thinking, what are you talking about? Now pause a little bit. Okay, I know that looks crazy. Backstory: when I was going to court and I was fighting for my eldest child, I gave custody to their father, my partner partner obviously now. I gave custody to him because at the time we weren't living together, so he had custody. But when they came back to me after I won the court case, because yes, I won the court case, she came back to live with us, my children came back in 2015. You have to let everybody know. I let my landlord know, I let the government know, because you know, you have to have, you know, things like child benefit and stuff like that. I needed to let them know because I was getting their schools in my borough. You know, you let people know. So I've done all of this, my lovelies, but for some weird reason things got lost in the mail. I don't know, but they tried to come at me like I was doing some fraudulent situation, trying to get help to pay rent on a property because of my children that technically weren't living with me. That's where they were coming from. That was the angle that they were portraying. So they sent me this letter and I was just like, it just brought me back there. At that time of my life, it was horrible. I've never been in the house without my children, without noise, without laughter, without babies crying or giggling or cooing. Or I've been a mum for nearly 14 years. It was just so alien to me. When I got that back and they were just like, your kids don't live with you and blah blah blah, I was like, whoa, like what? And you know, they're like, we need this evidence and we need this evidence, and the letter was quite stern, which is fair enough. I know there's a lot of scammers out there, I'm not gonna sit here and say there's not, but what happens when you're not scamming anybody and you're getting this letter? But you know, they came with the, you know, you need to prove this and you need to prove that. I was like, I got you, okay? I proved everything. I just shot off them letters like, sweetie, I ain't fraudulent out here, you know. I'm only asking so I don't have children in here that are stressed. But anyway, because of that letter, I rushed everybody. I done as quickly as I possibly could, and it still took weeks. So I was rushing through this, rushing through that, you know, trying to get everything sorted. I thought to myself, you know, I need to just get out of here quickly because we could potentially lose the house before we even got in there. It was just crazy. I was rushing my children. My son broke out in hives. My daughter also broke out in hives. You know, they don't deal well with stress, to know that they were just like, there was nothing, there was no help, they didn't really care what they were doing. I'm going to be using the Technics Soft Focus Loose Translucent Powder. I just found that whole experience so scary because I've got mental health. You guys already know I've got mental health. If I was going through a crisis and I really just needed someone to just help me out, and that was the response, treating me like a criminal straight off the bat without even knowing my situation, that would have probably sent me through a spiral. It didn't, but it made me feel really crappy about myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, it made me feel like, oh my god, there was a time when my children didn't live in my house with me. I feel more guilty now because it was for nothing. It really was for nothing, because you know, she went back into care again, she did the exact same thing again, and we're back care again. And to know I put my children through all of that, obviously you can't foresee the future, no one can, but I just think to myself, I didn't want to be reminded, and I was reminded. Considering I did everything in my power to make sure that that didn't happen, I let everybody know, you know, I gave everybody the 411, and you still somehow managed to not know that my children moved back in with me. And then when I'm asking for help how many years later for an unrelated situation, you're telling me my children don't live with you, can you give me proof, blah 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 blah. I was just like, whoa, wow, okay, cool. What can you do? You can't do nothing. That was neither here or there because I proved everything I needed to prove. I'm just gonna do my eyebrows while my face is baking to the gods, honey, and then I will be back, sweetie. But I'm basically just gonna run it down. It has just been so much pressure. After that, I went to a company to, you know, get the ball rolling with the move and whatever else. Basically, just to sum that up, they came the first day, which was the Thursday. They came on a Thursday. They basically just didn't do the job. They didn't fulfill the job. I wanted 2 men in a van to come and deal with moving us. So they came on the Thursday. The first thing that went wrong is that he calls me, the driver, and he's like, you know, we had a job yesterday. The guy that I normally work with don't want to come to do this job today because apparently he had an argument with one of the clients the day before. First of all, I'm just like, what's that got to do with me? What's that got to do with me? Thank you for giving me the heads up and whatever, but I still need you and another person to come today because I paid for it. He was just like, oh, okay, so I'm gonna see what I can do. And I'm just like, cool, that's awesome, do that. So that's the first thing that went on, and I was just like, okay, you know, benefit of the doubt, this can't be happening because it's literally, you're calling me an hour before you need to be at my property. Don't, like, that's the first thing. It was just like, please don't. I can't be dealing with it. it. I've been packing non-stop. I haven't been eating properly. I haven't been sleeping properly. I've been sleeping on the floor. I don't have no front room anymore because all the boxes and bags are in there. Don't come and tell me you can't move us today. You know what I'm saying? You know, I spoke to my husband. I was like, this is what's going on, blah, blah, blah. He was just like, don't worry, just wait for the call back. In the meantime, between time, I was just like, if you're not bringing somebody who is registered with the company, are you insured? So I ran the company and I said to them, does the insurance lie with the driver and he's liable for whoever he brings and he's covered? Or is it a case of the person that he comes is not covered and they can't be touching my things, because if you mash up my stuff, I'm gonna want my coins. And you're just like, don't worry about it, it's with the driver, don't worry, blah, blah, blah. I was just like, okay, cool, that's what I need to know. I told them the whole situation. They were just like, you know, just see what happens, and if it doesn't happen, obviously we'll send you another team. You know, there was no problems at that point. Cool. So, you know, half an hour goes on, 45 minutes goes on. I text the driver. I say to the driver, like, what's going on? He's like, don't worry, he's found somebody, he'll be with us in an hour. So I said, so you're gonna be like 45 minutes late because you're meant to be here at 12, you're gonna be here at 1:45. What's up with that? He's like, yeah, I had to wait for the person and da 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 da. I was like, cool, as long as you're still coming, fine. Even though it was putting a strain on what we generally had planned, I just said, you know what, just breathe it out, don't worry about it, things can get sorted out. So I told my partner, I was just like, could you just go get our little one from school, and we just move things around, and it just ended up working. That happened. They came, and straight off the bat, honeys, this guy comes in, the guy that, not the driver, the other guy, he comes in, he's like just miserable, just all this attitude and all this stuff going on. Yeah, he had all this attitude, picking up stuff, and he was just like, you know, he was asking me things like, oh, why did you buy all this furniture, blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, bro, honey, darling, don't watch what I'm buying. Yeah, your job is to remove the stuff, not ask me how much my stuff is, why did I buy it, because you're now being lazy because you don't want to be carrying my items. At the end of the day, when you go to a company and they ask you things like, how much stuff do you have, I went there and I sat down and I put all of the stuff that I had, all of the things that we had, boxes, bag, kitchen stuff, blah blah blah. I did all that, and I also went as further as I got my partner's uncle to come and remove all the kitchen stuff. So you didn't have to come and remove no cooker, no fridge, no freezer, no nothing. And I have a big massive chest freezer. I made sure that was already gone and hooked up in the new house. So you're coming to basically carry boxes and bags, and you're asking me, why did I buy this and why did I buy that? Honey, I bought them because obviously I needed them. What a dumb question. Like, seriously, first, like, I just got this really negative vibe, and because they were talking in their own language, you could tell by a tone, you know, you're not dumb. Like, at the end of the day, I don't know their language, I'm not gonna sit here and say that I do, but certain things break language barriers, and attitude is one of them, darling. So he was there and he was just like da 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 in his language, and the other guy was just like no 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 in his language. So, you know, the driver was more kind of like softer tone, very apologetic, when the other guy was very aggressive, tutting and da 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 da. Anyway, 10 minutes, or I would say between 10 and 20 minutes, I see the driver coming up, picking up bags, putting it in the van, da da da. I see that. I see the other guy back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, blah 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, I don't see the other guy no more. He gone, he disappeared, he blew, Houdini, disappeared, poof, gone. Where is he? Nowhere to be found. And I was like, where are you? Like, where is your dude? I was like, where is, you know, where's homeboy? Where is he? And the guy basically just turned around to me, very real. I was just like, he left. I was like, what do you mean he left? He was just like, you know, he was really upset. He didn't know you had this much stuff. And I was just like, how does he not know? So now pause for a second. Pause, my sweeties. Pause, my honeys, my darlings, my honey bunnies. Now, I was honest with all the stuff that I had in my property. Very honest, told them, because at the end of the day, it prices it up. And I don't want no one walking into my house and saying, oh my God, you have way more stuff, I'm not doing a job. Because guess what? Before these two guys, we had the exact same scenario. But before these guys came along, we had other guys come, and this was my partner. My partner got these two guys because these people are highly recommended by one of his boys, and they came to the house and they were like, they came in, two guys, they looked around, and they were just like, wow, you got this much stuff. Hence why I said what I said when I said it. I said I couldn't move in 2 days, and this is why. You had professional movers come in two big strong men, and they came in the house and was like, wow, you have all of this to move? Whoa, I didn't even know it was this much. But I made it very clear, I don't know how much, like when you're there saying I've got like 50 plus bags, I have 50 plus boxes, I have this cabinet, 3-4 cabinets, 6 chest of drawers, 8 chest of drawers. When you're there telling these people you have these things, maybe they don't know what that generally looks like with their eyes, but everybody that came in was just like, whoa. I was honest. But when you come to the house, because they ask these things, they ask like, oh, do you have a lift? Do you have easy access? Is there parking? Da, 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 da. You answer every little thing. So I'm there telling them, well, no, our parking is very restricted, because literally just before we moved, they put in a big restriction where you cannot even park on our road no more. And where I lived, you couldn't get permits. That was the whole deal that they did with the council, that the people that lived in my apartment complex couldn't get permits. So there was no permits to hand out to the removal people. I made that very aware and clear. When it says in the section, is there anything else you need to tell us? And in the section when they say to us, is there any parking restrictions? When you fill out this form, you fill it out correct. And I am not a fraudulent person. I filled it out correct. I told them there is no lift in our property. None. Because the law states if it's up until the ground to the second floor, they are not obligated to give you a lift. If it was a 3rd floor or a 4th floor or a 5th floor, you would have got a lift. My apartment only went to the 2nd floor, so they don't need to cater for anybody with a lift. So I didn't have a lift. I understand how undesirable that is, but I didn't have a lift. And yes, I was on the 2nd floor, so ground 1 and 2, 2nd, that's where I was. I made sure I told them this. I told them there was no lift. I told them the parking restrictions just went in, where you can't park there from 7 a.m. in the morning all the way to 12 midnight. I told them everything I need to tell them. I also told them all the stuff that's in my building. Aha, I told them. So why are you coming in my house, honeys, and saying, oh my god, you have this, you have that, oh my days, blah 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 blah. He's standing there taking pictures, video recording it, sending it back to HQ. Then we get a stinking, really stupid, stinking, disgusting woman on the phone talking to us, telling us, do you have money? Do you know it's gonna cost you a lot more? People, they're meant to be like a dismantling team. They specialize in dismantling and remantling. Hence why we went with them, because we have bumpers and stuff like that that we really didn't have time to be dismantling and remantling, and it would have just took, we would have paid the coins for them to just do that. And we paid them an upfront price for 2 hours, because that was their minimum. And then whatever hourly rate after that is how much hourly rate after that. The woman's coming on the phone to me saying to me, oh, do you know that this is going to be more money, you know, if they stay for hours? Are you ready for that? Are you prepared? And I don't want to be rude, but bitch, I did not come to you broke. I know that things take time, and I also know that certain things will take time to dismantle and remantle. I know that I pay for 2 hours, but I also know that I might need 4 or 5 or 6. Don't come on my phone and ask me, am I good for the money? Who are you? They're standing around in my house at this point taking pictures while bruv, you're meant to be here at 1. You came late, yeah, first of all. Then when you're coming late, you're standing around my house looking at my stuff, taking pictures, send them back to HQ for what? I filled out your forms. I've done everything you wanted me to do, so please tell me why you're coming to me now trying to act like, oh, I don't know what's happening. I didn't know you had all this stuff. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. But you want to come with HQ and come to me and ask me about money and do we have it and blah 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 blah. Bro, when you go to a service, anybody that goes to a service and actually puts money into a service, they're not stupid enough to not know what they're paying for. It clearly states on your website and everywhere else that has your name and your logo on it that this is your company, this is how much it is minimum, and this is how much it is for your hourly rate. Brethren, the money that she's talking about as well, this is what made me laugh the most. She's like, oh, you know, this could cost like £500 to £600. I said, that's why I took out £1,000. Like, what is this? Like, really? I took out enough money just in case. I just need my stuff moved. Why are you standing in my house for a good half an hour talking to me about money when you ain't even done the job yet? You ain't even done the job yet. You ain't even started doing the job yet. It was so frustrating. Even now talking about it, I'm just like like, really? That's how you run your company? Like, for real, for real? For real, for real. Like, I was so vexed at that point. So I said, take your ass out my house. take your ass out my house. I was like, take your ass out my house. They were like, oh, do you want us to come tomorrow, you know, for a whole day, you know, you're gonna have to book again, what you gonna do? I said, I'm gonna go with somebody else who's not gonna stand in my house, watch me pack up my stuff and watch me take it to my own car, because let's be real, I wasn't just relying on removal teams. I had my own car. I was driving back and forth, me and my partner were driving back and forth and taking what we could ourselves, because we needed to be out of the house. So we had no time for games, we had no time for somebody to come into our house, be talking about we need to take this picture, send to HQ. We had no time for some stinking lady to come on my phone and talk about, do we have money? I had no time for that. Had no time for that. I told her straight, my husband told her straight, and they still was talking. Did they move their asses? No, they didn't. When they got told confirmation that, you know, go ahead and do the job, they were still standing around. I asked the guy, are you gonna start doing your job now? Oh, maybe we start now. Maybe we start in 10-15 minutes. I said, maybe you start. Get out. Get out. Get out. Straight up. I kicked their asses out of my house, and I was just like, you know what, we'll go somewhere else. And yes, that's how I thought, because at that time, woo, girl, at that time I was like, how are you gonna stand there and just hover over me while I got things to do? And then with the parking restrictions, you've wasted all of that time talking rubbish to me, worried about the fact that, oh, there's no lift, there's no this. We told you all of this. We told you all of this. Yeah, the lady on the phone, when she's chatting crap to me, told me what we writ on the form. So please don't tell me nothing. If they didn't tell the people that came to the house, that's not my problem. Why are you coming for me for? Yes, your company, talk to them, talk to HQ or whoever deals with you, talk to them. Don't talk to me. Don't come at me, because I came to you with truth. If you didn't want to look at the papers that they sent you, if you don't want to hear what they have to say, if they didn't tell you, then you don't come and talk to the customer. You go and talk to whoever sent you for the job. You don't stand around the customer with your, I need to record, I need to take pictures, I need to da 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 da, I need to rah 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 rah, and watch me do your job. Honeys, I was so shocked. I was like, never, 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 never again, honey, never again. I was like, at this point, I was just so over it. I was stressed. I didn't have no time for this tomfoolery. I needed to move. I sorted certain things out and I moved certain things. And with the parking restrictions, you wasted all that time talking nonsense to the point where we couldn't even start anyway. Even if they did turn around after that point and said, we'll start now, they had to leave. We had to leave because our car couldn't stay on the road, on the opposite road, because that had parking restrictions, but that allowed us to stay there for a couple of hours, in the same couple of hours that they were meant to come. First they came late, then when they came late, they didn't do their job. They didn't do their job at all. And then now, by the time they're all this fiffing around and talking crap and nonsense, all this shit, we now have to leave. So when they're talking now, it's like, regardless of what you want to say, you got to go, because we got to go. We can't even stay here now. We got to pack up our car with what we can pack up our car with, and we've got to leave, because our car cannot stay here no more, because there's parking restrictions. So all of that happened, and it just, even now talking about it, it's so annoying, because that kind of set up the whole feeling and vibe for the rest of the move. Like literally everything after this was just pants. It was just rubbish, and I was just not here for it, honeys. I was just not here for it.